That is a very, very big squid. He is absolutely huge. Is it a 50? Could be up there. Good morning everyone and welcome back. This morning what we're going to be doing is targeting some giant squid. We're going to be going after a PB today. The big squid have started to move back into the bays. So this morning we're going to put in a huge trip and specifically target some of these really big squid. So this is a little overview of the location where we're going to be fishing. The waves are pumping in at the moment, but it's one of my favorite squid spots. So we're going to get out here this morning, see what we can do and see if we can find some of these really big late season squid. Hopefully there's not too much seaweed out there. You can probably see that the beach is lined with weed, and if that's out here, it's going to be a massive problem. But we'll get out there, we'll give it a look and we'll see what happens. Well, here we are, and take a look at the beautiful morning. That sun has just risen behind me. There's a lot of floating seaweed, but other than that, the conditions look extremely good. We have clear water, we have very light winds. We also have a tide change coming up in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So everything is lining up absolutely perfect for a good big squid bite. But you never really know with squid. They can be tough even when you think they're going to be good. So we're just going to have to get out here and see, but at the moment I'm fairly confident. And another amazing sign as well is that there are 0 boats in the whole area which we're going to be covering this morning. That could change, but it's a really good sign early on, because if no one's been drifting through this area, then there could be some hungry squid which we could pluck out straight away. So I'm going to go straight up to one of my favourite spots, and then we're just going to start drifting from there and see what happens. We have the incoming tide at the moment, the last of the incoming. So I'm going to pedal up the current a bit and then drift back along all of these weed beds. Let's get one of our secret weapons out. Not really a secret weapon, but silver whiting. I'm going to put one of these fellas on a squid spike. Very good method for big squid. And we're also going to be casting around an artificial squid jig. Man, this wind has just dropped out too. That is absolutely perfect. When there's a lot of wind about, it actually makes you drift really fast, and it just makes it harder to squid fish. So when there's no wind, you can get that slow drift going, cover the ground nice and thoroughly. And usually when you're drifting really slow, you can really dial in the squid and pick a few up. We're going to try a few different areas this morning, but we are going to start our search in exactly this spot. I'm going to do a big drift along this weed bed, and we're going to get our first bait out, a big silver whiting. It's actually a really small silver whiting, but we'll get that out, and that's going to follow our drift. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is crystal clear. The perfect bottom, really patchy sand, patchy seaweed. That is the perfect habitat for squid. So that fills me with a little bit more confidence. The water is extremely clear, and squid love clear water. So we'll see what we can do. Now let's move on to our second method, which is of course the artificial jigs. So we're using a size 3.0 white jig, and as you can see, this one's been through the wars. It's caught a fair few squid in the past, and I'm hoping that it's going to produce this morning. Let's get this first cast out and see what we can do. So I'm casting up current, and then that jig is going to float back down with the current, and I'm just going to work that along the bottom. So we're in about 4 meters. So I'm going to let that sink for probably 10 to 12 seconds, and then I'm going to start working that back to the kayak. Nothing in the deep at all. We just did about half an hour's worth of fishing and we didn't even see a squid. So we're going to move to a little bit shallower water and hopefully find them there. Still pretty confident we're going to find them though. It's just a matter of covering ground, finding out where they're sitting. And they also could feed more up towards the tide change, or even when the tide turns. You just really never know when they can turn on, because they can flip a switch and you'll find a patch and get a whole heap. So we'll see what happens, but for now, keep on doing what we're doing. We're going to drift in the shallows now. We're in about 3 meters of water, whereas before we're in about 4.5. So a fair bit shallower. We're just going to have to keep looking until we find them. Oh, floats on. Is that a squid or a fish? I don't really know what's going on here. I think it's a squid, but I think he's just holding it. Yeah, he is. He just let go. He's on it again. Need to try and get a prong into him. No, he let go again. Definitely wasn't that kraken which we're after, so I'm not too fussed. He grabbed that twice, but he just didn't hook up. Let's try another different spot. No good either. Been very tough so far. Very tough. Third spot in 4 meters now. So we've gone in between. Pretty hard to get this morning. We've only had that one which we had on which got off, but hopefully out here we have a little bit more luck. Squid, little one. Second cast out here in the deeper water. Well, not the deeper water, the medium depth, 4 meters of water, and we hooked up. Very little fella. Very. He's an extremely good bait size, but that's about it. Well, I guess the good thing is they can only really get bigger from here on out because he is tiny. We're looking for a kraken. We're not looking for these little fellas. Hopefully we find some bigger ones. That's a squid. That's a good squid. Yes. That is a better one. We have moved to a very different area, actually near where we launched, and this is the second squid of the day. It's going to be a lot better one. Not an absolute monster, but it is a much better one than the first small one we got. It has really been a grind this morning. We've had to work for these squid, but we are onto a very solid one. As you can see out there, he's actually really good. So damn, he's actually a bit bigger than what I thought. He's a really good squid. There we go. Oh my goodness, that was close to death. He just produced a monumental amount of ink. Oh my god, I'm so lucky that wasn't facing me. He's got a lot of ink. Let's get that jig back down. Let's see if he had a follower. Oh, that float on. Oh, that one's on. Yep. And that's how it can change. That is how it can change. We just sunk that jig back down to the bottom because typically squid can have followers, especially this time of year, and we've got the follower. That's exactly what we wanted. It's not a monster, it's a little bit smaller than the last one we caught, but it's a very good squid yet again. Get that one out of the net for a second. Net this little guy. He is much smaller in comparison to that last one. That last one's a donkey. Well, I'll be lying if I said it wasn't a slow start to the morning, but it just took a turn for the best. That is the first of the double hookup which we just got. He's a much smaller one than the other one, but still a very respectable squid. The second one though, he is much bigger. Look at that. That is a proper squid. Look at the candles in the head on that. That is a... Oh, he's leaking on me. That is a really good squid. Very happy with that. Our morning just took a turn for the best. It had been very slow up until then. Just going to pedal straight back over to that spot. Squid can congregate in one area sometimes, especially if they're breeding and they're sitting on eggs. So we'll just go straight back over to that area. If there's any more, we should be able to pick them up. So all of the squid so far, once again, have been on this size 3.0 jig. We've got a nice range as well. We got one really small one, one medium one, and then one pretty big one. That's why I like using a size 3.0. You can kind of catch really any squid out there, the smallest of squid up to the biggest of squid. It's going to be interesting to see if we can find a few more squid in this area. It's a really good time at the moment. The outgoing has just started. Start of the tide is always really good for squid. So if they are going to feed, it should be fairly soon. That's what eats your silver whiting around here. Monster leather jackets like that. Those are monsters. Oh, squid. That's a good squid. That is a very good squid. I was just looking at my silver whiting get absolutely destroyed by leather jackets. It is getting mauled. There's almost none of it left. Look at those leather jackets. They're absolutely huge. They're like 40-50 centimeter leather jackets. We're just drifting back over that same area where we picked up those last two, and sure enough, there's another one here. I really want to try catch one of those leather jackets. That is huge. He's probably the same size as that other big one we got. He's a nice squid. Got him. Got him. That is another cracking squid. Let's get a look at this one. And once again, it is another very big squid. Probably slightly smaller than that other big one, but I'm not going to complain with that at all. That is another absolute monster. Very good. At least there's some big ones around. When there's big ones around like this, there's every shot at a true giant. So look what those leather jackets did to that whiting. They took everything. We're just going to go straight back over and do that drift once again. There's probably more squid along that line because that's 3 we've got in a very similar area. Okay, silver whiting, get out there and do something. You forgot one very important thing, mate. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow. Justice for Johnny. Oh, float's under. Float's got one. That's a very big one. That is a very, very big squid. Oh my goodness. I reckon this one is an absolute tank. I don't know if it's going to be the 50, but it is going to be a very, very, very large squid. So the silver whiting is finally produced. All the other ones were caught on the artificial jigs, but this one's on the old silver. How big is he exactly? He's big. He is absolutely huge. Is it a 50? I don't know. I do not know. It could be up there. We got him. He is a very, very, very big squid. Oh my goodness, look at that. Wow, wow, wow. He's an absolute giant. We went out looking for giants today and we have got one in the net. He couldn't have been hooked any better. He was actually hooked in the mouth. Wow, what a perfect hookup. Oh, we're back. We are back with an absolute monster. Look at the size of that squid. That is the one we're after. That is the one we're after. An absolute monster. I got a little bit excited there, but he's a 40 centimeter hood squid. So 10 centimeters off our goal. Man, just imagine a 50 centimeter hood. What a behemoth that thing would be. But 40 centimeters is not a squid you see every day. So we'll definitely take that. Absolute giant. All right, let's get back into it. I'm stoked with that squid though. Biggest of the year and a very, very, very quality squid. Even just seeing a 40 centimeter hood, which is already a big squid, just makes you realize how big a 50 would actually be. Like, it would be ridiculous. So when we tick that off, it'll be a good day. And that's another one. Number 7. He's only a little one though, so nice little medium one, but it's his lucky day. Ooh, look at him shoot off. He went quick, very quick. It's another one. They are on fire at the moment. This is going to be number 8. We could easily bag out if we want to, but once again, not a huge squid. Nice medium ones. 2 in 3 or 4 casts. Send him off. Well, I'm going to call it there. What a good day out. It actually turned out to be a really, really good day. And we kind of left the squid biting. If we did a few more drifts, we definitely could have picked up some more, but I decided that I'll just head in. We got enough. We got enough for food. We got enough for bait. We also got some really big ones as well. But if you want to see me continue this search for a 50 centimeter hood squid, then leave a like on this video, comment your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.